Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to Honcast.com, and what is today being Friday after all, so looking forward to having a lot of fun today, and you are tuning into the Honcast Podcast. That's right, every single week. Unfortunately, last week we did have to take it off, a lot of things happening, but we are back this week, and of course there is plenty to talk about, especially when it comes to a lot of events happening and a lot of things to recap. So first things first, so as you can see, I'm Breaking CBK, as the name says below. I am joined by Emperor here. So Emperor didn't finally make it to the studio. No, not really. That is not him. He unfortunately wasn't able to make it today. Something did come up, so not just yet, but it is coming. Don't worry. But with that said, of course, as usual, though, going to be joined by Milk Fat and Beef here. Of course, Beef of Complexity. Milk Fat, how you doing, buddy? Uh-oh. We have them muted, apparently. There we go. How you doing again? Okay, there we go. That's good, that's good. Beef, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm finally starting to get over this illness and excited to talk about this incredible week of games that we had and highlight what we've got coming up. So it's going to be a good day. Yeah, there's definitely been a lot happening, man. I mean, obviously with Hon Tour alone, it's been pretty active in the competitive Hon scene. It's definitely safe to say. There's been a lot of activity with the top teams, from the top teams to the bronze levels teams. I mean, a lot of players playing some competitive Heroes of New Earth, but recently we've had both the GSL events, of course, with the qualifiers, and then also we've had, well, the Sound Blaster Heroes League, the main event, kicking off, which definitely we plan to talk about a little bit later on today. So again, there's really plenty of results to go over in today's show, and maybe a couple other things we'll talk about as well, depending on what the time looks like. But with that said, I think it is good to kind of get things kicked off here with, of course, cycle number 7 of Hon Tour. Cycle number 7 obviously started this last weekend. It will be finishing up this weekend as always. But boy, oh boy, did we have some interesting results, to say the least, in cycle number 7 here. I mean, of course, the big one being Absolute Legends, being in the winners bracket finals, taking out Trademark Esports in the second round of cycle number 7, then eventually defeating Afraid, and then again moving on to the winners bracket finals. But actually I do got the brackets on my screen right here, so if we want to pull that up real quickly if possible. Just letting him know. So we'll take it. Of course, you guys can check it out for yourself. You go to hontour.com. You can take a look at it. But here we go. Again, so you kind of see the results. Obviously, now 6 teams remaining. Absolute Legends versus Stay Green. In the losers bracket, you got Lion Esports Club versus Afraid, and Team Excellent versus Complexity. So yeah, Team Excellent then defeating Trademark Esports in the losers bracket. I mean, again, what a ride we've had. No doubt, Trademark being knocked out though. Kind of the biggest storyline of this weekend here. Milkfat, what was it for you about Cycle 7? So far?
I mean, Cycle 7 has got to be Absolute Legends, man.
Yeah.
I've been saying it. Everybody knows that, I'm a big fan of Absolute Legends and them really trying to actually practice, try hard. And it seems like, after 10 weeks of me saying that on this podcast, they finally started to listen to me. And I am just really, really looking forward to seeing their success. They're guaranteed, top 4 now? It's going to be the best they've ever placed. And I think that this is the momentum that they need going into the end of Hon Tour to win that tournament and secure their seed.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt with, especially with the GSL results, I think a lot of people were really taken back by that, where they had to forfeit both the first and the second qualifiers, being during the weekdays, the timing. It just didn't work out for them with their schedule, especially with school and everything. But no doubt, turning a lot of heads here, and you're right. It's definitely been a team that we've been following for a while. It's finally good to see them, getting these big results and being in a good spot here. Beef, what about you?
I mean, I completely have to agree. Absolute Legends looking phenomenal, and love to see them be able to really make a comeback here, because it is disappointing that we didn't get to see them in GSL. We also don't get to see them in the Sound Blaster Heroes League event. So they, in my book, they need to have a strong showing here, and they have. So looking very good there. The other one, for me, Team Excellent, of course. Just looking so strong over not only Afraid, but also Trademark. Excuse me, they didn't beat Afraid, sorry. They were able to take out QSQ and then Trademark Esports. They've looked very, very good. And even yesterday, we'll talk about it a little bit later, in the Sound Blaster Heroes League, they put up another really, really good series. They've been looking strong. And Pew, I mean, he's definitely a polarizing figure in the community. Really, really cool to see that he's actually got a team that's making things happen around him. So awesome performance out of them. That's what really struck me.
Yeah, no doubt is, again, Pew definitely is an interesting character, to say the least, when it comes to his posts in the forums and how, how he's known throughout the community. But in the end, like we were talking about yesterday when we happened to be covering them for that Sound Blaster event, I mean, they are starting to show results a lot more now. And again, these big victories that they've been having, they're doing very well overall in Hon Tour. No doubt Team Excellent deserves some recognition. And, they've been getting it. If it's deserved, you definitely will get it. And that's kind of a proof with a team like Team Excellent. They are matched up against Complexity going into this weekend now. They're in the losers bracket, so I am very curious to see how they perform against another very good team, of course, in Complexity, who's they just got finished losing to Stay Green, of course, in the winners bracket portion of this cycle. So no doubt Complexity wants even another rematch possibly in the grand final. So we'll get some more information out of that team, but also the Greek Pride, as I always like to bring up, Fabunko and Fabelli, of course, from Greece. It's fun to see that representing in the competitive Heroes and Heroes scene. So. But Team Excellent, that was kind of the other, obviously, big storyline on top of Absolute Legends in terms of teams kind of being a little bit of a surprise as far as their results so far. Now let's look at the other side of the spectrum here. You got Trademark Esports. They're knocked out. This is the #1 team in the standings going into cycle number 7.
Yeah.
Knocked out going into the second weekend. I mean, no one saw this coming. There's no way. What were your reactions to when you first heard about this, Sam?
My reaction was, let me pull it up. Because I sent it to Johan himself.
Okay.
What did I say to my nuts? Oh, I was the dick. I said, good games yesterday.
Wow. Rude. So rude.
Okay, well, that is not what I expected. Okay. I was incredibly surprised. I was blown back. I've always thought Pew was a good team. I'm the one that's always been putting them on my top 10. I've always thought Mistral, Excellent, whatever you want to call him. I think Pew is a fantastic guy to have in the competitive scene. He cracks me up. I love his drive. His post today is what stood out to me. He's like, not one person on my team has a life. So you can damn well expect that we're going to be training hard and we're going to beat Trademark the next time we see them. And it's just really cool to see somebody have that passion where, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to train. We're going to win. And they've been proving themselves. Every game's going to have that character. A lot of people always felt that way about Swindle Melons a couple months ago. They thought that, they dislike him. Now that, Stay Green's #1, all you see is, Stay Green's the best, Swindle Melon's the best drafter in the world, Swindle Melon's is a god, we love him. And it's true. I mean, you read the forums, read what people are thinking. They love teams that win, that are innovative, that can, do what it takes to take down the top teams. And I think that, I'm not trying to, don't get me wrong, I'm not, comparing Pew and Swindle Melons. I'm just saying that, controversial figures have the most drive because they have the most to prove.
Yeah, no doubt they have their place in this scene. I mean, there is no arguing that when it comes to characters like Pew and like Swindle Melons, definitely the cocky factor. Definitely being a big part of it there. But, Swindle Melons, to his sake, it was always a case of he was very cocky, going into events like NASL and whatnot, like DreamHacks, and, didn't get the results that he was really even guaranteeing to an extent that they would get. So, but lately with Stay Green, no doubt they've been the team to beat here on the competitive scene. So it seems like that is catching up. And overall, their team, of course, with them all moving to Miami and everything, I mean, there's just a lot of hype around them. Team Excellent, I didn't know about that quote, actually, because we have no lives, so we're going to be dedicated. That's actually a pretty interesting way to put it. But, hey, whatever it takes. And no doubt they have been showing some great results recently. And the pickup up Robusk, no doubt it really excelled them as well. I know we saw some fantastic play out of him, especially yesterday against Trademark Esports in that series. So,
his Wretched Hag was so good.
That was the game 1 against Trademark Esports. Yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch against them. I mean, Beef, what about you on Trademark Esports, though?
It's hard to say with TDM. They've been on top for so long, and I mean, you could even see when there was an interview that came out on GhostWeGamers.net that Soren actually did with MyNuts. He was saying, hey, we've got something to prove again. And when you're on top for so long, it's easy to get complacent, for sure. And so, I mean, it's kind of something that you expect. You can only stay on top for so long if you don't have the motivation, and I really hope this is going to give them the motivation to get out there and start innovating again, because TDM, they've kind of become really stagnant, in my opinion. They don't have a whole lot of innovation there. They've just kind of been playing their same strategies and relying on their resource management and everything like that. And when a team like Excellent comes along, I don't think that Excellent is better players skill-wise. I think that they're unpredictable and that they came up with something that, I mean, what stuck out to me was Excellent just goes. They don't think about it. They just initiate. We saw it yesterday in that game with the 3,500 life Moon Queen, where they just said, hey, we're just going on this guy. We don't know if it's going to work or not. And TDM was not prepared. They weren't able to react to just the spontaneous nature of this Team Excellent team. And so TDM, they're going to have to do something to change it, because there's all these up-and-coming teams like Excellent, like Afraid that we didn't talk about, that had another awesome weekend. And, TDM, I think, still is very much so in the top 3 of Han right now. I think they definitely have some work to do, and they've got to stay in there. They've got to stay in there mentally with 2 major events coming up and show that they've still got what it takes to bring home the gold.
Yeah, you bring up a good point there, especially with this week. We knew going into cycle number 7. I think we even talked about it, a little bit on. I know we didn't have a podcast last week, but even the week before, we're talking about how it seems like something's changing, and expect to see something crazy, especially with cycle number 7. We saw that. I mean, not only was it Absolute Legends, not only was it Team Excellent, but then Afraid is another good example. Actually, you just brought up right there. Afraid was a lot of fun to watch. They ended up losing to Absolute Legends in the winners bracket semifinals. Of course, they are still in it though. They're going to be playing Lions here coming up on Saturday. But again, especially Jolin playing that artillery. Talk about some awesome play there, busting out a new hero onto the competitive scene. A hero that definitely received some buffs recently, but no doubt he's making the best of those buffs and really playing the hero to its fullest. It was again a lot of fun to watch. And Afraid is definitely becoming another team that is building a fan base, no doubt, as a result of this cycle. So again, it kind of continues to be a great thing. We're in cycle number 7 now, where the fact that we're this late into the Han Tour season and we're still seeing crazy results, some new teams even pop up, and again, definitely starting to grow their fan base. Now, from a positive side though, to have to bring it up, and more of a negative side here. So again, we had Trademark Esports being knocked out, but on top of that, remember, we also had Q Squad, their situation, where not only did they lose to Team Excellent in the first round, but that set them up. It ended up being against Lion in the losers bracket, and then Lion actually knocked out Q Squad 2-1. And that means Q Squad's going to be Gold Division for the cycle number 8 event. That's got to be pretty demoralizing. However, I will say, in fact, I actually want to pull it up real quickly. Nova actually made a post on Facebook today. It was actually, pretty inspiring. Nova's a good guy. It was actually along the lines of, there'll be rough times, frustration, lack of results, and slumps. You will lose, rage, and think about quitting. Despite all of that, never forget one thing: enjoy the game. That's what he said. So, as you can see right there on your screen. So, it basically making a point that, yes, we are in a slump right now. We're definitely going through that. But ultimately, it is a game. We're enjoying it. You got to respect that. But at the same time, we're here to talk results. Q Squad's results lately haven't been the best, unfortunately. And again, in the Gold Division. So what do you guys think about that?
It was a major shock to me. I remember I was actually talking to you, Breaky, trying to figure out what match I was going to be casting that day. Excuse me. Still trying to get over this. Yeah. But it was just like, holy crap. Lions and QSQ is meeting up in the first round. And it was shocking for sure, and it was a good series. But I've talked to Nova a couple times this week for various reasons, was casting with him, and asked him how he was doing. He's like, well, we're in gold, so we're doing pretty shitty. But at the same time, he was still very confident that the team was going to be able to make a comeback, that they were going to redouble their efforts and make it back up. And this is not the end of Q Squad. This is not them disbanding, anything like that. So it's nice to see that they still do have that resolve, and I have absolutely no doubt that we're still going to continue to see Q Squad as a top 6 team in the scene.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to point something out too that Beef just brought up, and he said it was surprising to see them in a first round matchup, and that's something that a lot of people have pointed out on the forums as well. So I kind of just want to address it. The reason why we haven't been seeing first round matchups like Complexity versus TT Sports or Fnatic versus Absolute Legends in the losers bracket match, it's because the teams that are, supposed to win. It's their fault. Lions lost to Team Excellent. They were heavily favored. They're the 4th ranked team, and they lost to a significantly lower ranked team than them. Also, QSQ did. Because of this, they are going to meet each other in the losers bracket. That's how brackets work. That's how systems work. If you want to stay, you got to win. And if you're not winning, if you're losing to teams that are significantly worse than you, and another team does, then you're going to face that team in the losers bracket. It's not, oh, the brackets suck. Oh, whoever seeded this is a joke. The seeds are based off of the Han Tour standings, and how it played out is exactly how it should. It's unfortunate that one of them had to get knocked down to gold, but if they don't want to get knocked down to gold, then don't lose 2 matches in a row.
Yeah.
Well, to kind of go a little bit further on that, I did see obviously posts talked about that as well, and I had a very similar reaction because in the end, exactly that is how a bracket works. The higher seeds lost to the lower seeds. That's just simply how it was, and so as a result of that, those 2 seeds are then matched up in the losers bracket. It just happened to be where they placed. It happens, there is no the seedings are bad or anything. There is the argument, and this has been addressed before, and I know we've even talked about how possibly going into the next season or whatever the next event is, that it will be looked on and it will be changed in the sense that we have had a lot of repetitive matchups as a result of the current system. It seems like with the seedings, it takes the seedings not necessarily from how they did just the previous tournament, it's from their overall standing, and there haven't been a whole lot of big moves at least in the standings, especially as the seasons or as the cycles have gone on. So, Sam, obviously, I want to bring it up with you. Is that a case? Is this something that is going to be addressed going into the next season? Will it be talked about?
It's something that I'm looking at, but right now I'm just looking at the standings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you said there's not a lot of big changes. I see a huge change right now. We have QSQ in the upper bracket, and we have Lions in the upper bracket. 2 cycles ago, you saw Lions and Complexity always meeting each other. Lions and Complexity are now on completely opposite sides of the bracket. Why? Because one of them beat the other, they upset the other, they got a higher ranking, and they deserved the spot. You have 2 chances. It's not like if it's a single elimination, you lose, you go, and you're out. No, you have 2 chances to prove yourselves, 2 chances to earn a higher ranking.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time I look at the brackets, it's different. You have teams moving up and down depending on how they ranked. One of the things I am going to look at is, how many points gold gives for winning it, and how much that relates to with the teams that are winning in diamond, because there is a problem there, and I think that by changing that, it'll change the overall brackets and how they look on a week-to-week basis. But I don't think the problem lies in the actual structure of how the seeds are facing each other in the losers bracket.
Mm-hmm. That's actually an interesting point because, a prime example of that system, how that is something to look at, because you got a team like We Are Spies, and I was actually just double checking that, but they've literally bounced back and forth between Diamond and Gold every single cycle, and yet they're overall 8th place in the overall standings, and it does seem like that's a little bit, you should maybe you get a little bit more value if you stay in the Diamond Division than if you're bouncing back and forth between the two, but again, ultimately, as you did state from the very beginning, is it's well known. This, in a sense, yes, it's been a very successful, at least in my mind, and I think it's hard to argue that with Han Tour Season 1. But it's not like this is it, and we're not going to make any changes. In the end, it's a learning process ultimately, and you definitely can't make changes going into the future. So. Overall, no doubt, it's been a fantastic and an awesome event, of course. But there are, of course, some, as understandably, some changes to be looked at, going to the future. But all right, so other than that, as far as cycle number 7 is concerned, I guess really this leaves us at kind of giving our personal projections on what we think may happen, as always. So. If you guys want to take your turns here, we'll again pulling up the brackets one more time to get an understanding of what exactly we're looking at. So of course you got your AL versus Stay Green matchup in the winners finals, and then Lions versus Afraid, and then Team Excellent versus Complexity. So overall, what do you think the grand finals matchup will be, and who's going to be winning all in cycle number 7 here? Sam, we'll put you on the spot first.
Who's going to win cycle 7?
Yeah.
Let me look at the brackets. Stay Green.
That's simple. just Stay Green.
Yeah.
Well, who are they going to beat then?
I'm gonna say Afraid beats Lion.
Okay.
Really?
Excellent beats Complexity.
What?
Excellent beats Afraid. And Excellent beats Absolute Legends. We're going to see Stay Green versus Team Excellent.
Look at that. Pew fanboy all of a sudden.
Oh,
Team Excellent.
as I said earlier, he's been on my top 10 every single time, man.
True. That's true.
I think that he's going to ride this out. I think that right now is his time. All the momentum, all the focus, all the attention is on him. Spotlight's there. Is he going to step up?
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Well, that's what we're going to find out this weekend, exactly.
And
Beef.
Sexy Greek Boy. I'm a big fan of Sexy Greek Boy.
Of course. That's
Well,
Fabunko, right?
Hold on.
No, that's
Oh,
Fabelli.
Fabelli, yeah.
Fabelli is Sexy Greek Boy. I think he's hilarious. He cracks me up. He's a great player, too.
Yeah, well, of course.
Panny's Greek, and he's unafraid.
That's
But he's
true.
not Sexy Greek Boy. Panny could be Sexy Greek Man.
I don't know, man. Panny's 17.
Yeah, but he's still sexy.
What does that mean? Yeah.
Man.
Can't be sexy at 17?
Yeah. Come on.
No,
this-
we're talking about boys versus men. Whatever. I'm going into this. We got Lions versus Afraid. I've actually got to give that. I've got to give that to Lions. I think that Afraid, they looked somewhat weaker as soon as people were kind of figuring out to ban Artillery versus Yolam. So I've got Lions taking that one 2-1. I've got Cole 2-0 over Excellent. I think that Cole's just going to deal with that a little bit better than TDM. I think that I think they've just got Excellent's number. I've actually never seen Cole lose a game to Pew's team, I'm pretty sure, like in a scrim or a tournament series. So I don't know. I'm not too worried about that one for Cole. I've got SG 2-0 over Absolute Legends, and then I've got Complexity taking it 2-1 over Lions. And then I think I've got Complexity 2-1 over AL, but based on the performance of Cole versus SG last weekend, I mean, I love my team, but it's going to be an extremely uphill battle, especially with SG having that one-game advantage. So I think I'd have to give the finals to SG once more. I think they've got the momentum. I think they've got a little bit better coordination right now, and Cole's still trying to bring it all back together to make sure that they can get that championship.
Yeah.
So.
You have Complexity making the final. Shocker there, Beef. Shocker.
Not biased, man. Not biased.
Of course not. No, it wouldn't surprise me, obviously, to say the least. As far as I'm concerned, I think in the end, yes, Stay Green is definitely going to win it all. Their momentum right now is just ridiculous. And my only concern going into the cycle for them was they've been qualified for Thailand, obviously. You know, they're feeling good from that. Were they going to be putting in that 100% effort that they know and they definitely can? And, you know, were they going to focus all on it? And they definitely have. I mean, that's been clear. So, especially with the result of a Complexity that they had in this last weekend. But anyways, I have them ultimately winning, but as far as individual results, I'm going to go with Afraid over Lions. I think Lions has definitely been struggling lately, and Afraid, on the other hand, their momentum's built up pretty solid. So I could definitely see Afraid taking it to Lions. Team Excellent, I don't see them getting past Complexity. They definitely have been playing very well against Trademark, beating them once even, but Complexity, you know, they're hungry for a win here too, as far as especially even winning it all in Cycle 7, I'm sure. So I think they're going to get past. Then in that matchup, I got, let's go with Complexity over Afraid. Then versus Absolute Legends, by the way, I think AL will take a game off of Stay Green at least. I think because of their not only their momentum, but of their play style, their aggressive nature. It's not Complexity. It's not Trademark Esports. It's definitely an aggressive nature that can match Stay Green's a lot better than those teams, I think, when it comes down to it, and that may catch them off guard for a game. So
I think AL gets really sloppy, though. I think that they rely on catching their opponent off guard, and they tend to overextend. I think that Swindle keeps his team in check pretty well, making sure that they're capitalizing on those overextensions. So I don't know. I see AL actually getting dominated by SG.
yeah,
I see AL winning the laning phase in almost every single game, but I see Stay Green sweeping them. I think that when it comes down to raw talent, Mookies and Cookies are two of the most talented Han players in the world. Cookies especially.
especially, yeah.
I've had the experience of just playing with the guy, being his friend, hung out with him in real life, LAN. He is just so insanely talented, and his mind is just so unique in the way he looks at the game. I think he's talented, but in the end, I mean, Stay Green's it's not gonna be close, I don't think.
You know where he got that unique mind? We went to the
Probably
same
from
university.
playing with me. Oh yeah, probably that.
Probably that.
Mustangs!
Oh, wait.
Sorry.
Cal Poly?
Cal Poly.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
he goes to Cal Poly. See, Breaky went there
Does
too.
he?
See?
Wow.
There you go.
I thought he went to UCI for some reason.
No, he's at Poly right now.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
All right, but yeah, in the end, I do have Stay Green winning it all. Let's say you know what? No, I can't do that. Okay, I'm going to have Complexity defeating AL, and then it'll be a Stay Green Complexity, and then Stay Green will defeat Complexity in the grand finals. So we'll see, though. We'll see again going into it. Who knows, especially with the way this cycle number 7 kicked off, really, anything can happen, of course. So we'll have to wait and see how it ultimately plays out here. But I think that's enough talk on cycle number 7 there. We can now move on to another event, of course, that took place. And do I have the right one here? Yes, looks like I do. We got, of course, the GSL event. The GSL qualifier number 2 took place. It wasn't this week. It was the previous week, obviously, but again, with no podcast. I didn't really get the chance to talk about it, so I figured that we kind of bring it up here and give our opinions. Trademark Esports ultimately winning it all, 2-0 over Complexity in the end. It was a hell of an event, though. I mean, we definitely had some entertaining matches, especially that semifinals with TDM versus TT Esports, man. TT Esports had a good chance to take that series, and I thought they were definitely. I think it was the game number 2. I think they're up 1-0, if I'm not mistaken. And they just couldn't get it done. They couldn't get it done in the end, even with Troft joining the team and everything. And well, TDM then defeated them, and then Complexity also. Their play definitely wasn't top notch in the finals, from what I remember too. And TDM was ultimately able to take the victory. So, you guys remember this tournament in your mind? I mean, what stood out to you in this event? What you want to bring up here? Holy crap!
The heck? All right.
No, just keep talking. Don't worry.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it was a really, really cool tournament. The thing that definitely stands out in my mind is the finals with TDM and Cole. Cole was looking really, really good all week, and TDM just dominated him. There was a lot of mistakes being made by Complexity, unfortunately, and sad to see, because there was so much on the line for sure. But yeah, it was well played by Trademark, and I'm sure they're gonna do really, really well in Thailand. But that TDM versus TT Esports match was really, really good. And I seem to remember the QSQ versus Afraid match actually being really, really good as well.
I'm trying. It was 2-1 Q Squad.
It was 2-1, right? It was a 3-game series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's when we actually first got to see Artillery from Jolim.
Yes.
In that. So yeah, that is definitely ringing a bell there in that series. So okay, Sam, anything for you?
I kind of feel exactly how Beef does. Complexity played so good going into the finals. I think I was ready for just a phenomenal series. I don't know if you guys saw TDM's or MyNuts' article on Gosu Gamers, the interview.
Yeah.
But just looking at his mindset going into it is what's getting me most excited about this. Mm-hmm. One question really stood out to me, where he talks about how it's formatted, because there is a best-of-1 stage, and he said, everybody knows going into it that's a best-of-1. So if you lose, it's your fault. Like, don't complain about the format because everybody knows. And from talking to him, he has. They're trying so many unique strategies, and how he's going into it is, we're going to check Kongor every single time. We're going to check this. We're going to check this. We're going to leave no opportunities. They're completely preparing to make sure that they do not get cheesed. Mm-hmm. And it's just so great to see that, 3 weeks away, they're already planning. They're already trying. They're already getting an idea in their head about how they want to approach this LAN. And it's just great to see a team take it so seriously and care so much. And that's making me excited.
Yeah, they could easily say, we're top dogs, the Southeast Asian scene, nothing really to think about over there. We're going to come in and, win some good money, so let's just go with that and be happy with it. But you're right. Again, I did the interview. In fact, here, if you go to GoStoGamers.net, you can actually check it out for yourself. It's still on one of the more recent articles on there, but there's a quote that's actually in the title. Now we're not on top anymore. Now we have something to fight for. That's an interesting quote, actually. When you think about it, and basically making a point that they're very observant that they're not on top anymore. They're not that top dog, especially as they were earlier on in Han Tour, and especially coming off of DreamHack and the victory, the success that they had there. But if anything, that just gives them more motivation, kind of like you were touching on, Sam. So yeah, it is really good to see a top team like that. Definitely, taking it upon themselves to look forward going into what's going to be an amazing event. And you said 3 weeks away. Holy crap, it is 3 weeks away. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy to say that, but it definitely is coming up fast as it usually does, man.
Well, I mean, Han Tour's over in 2 weeks.
I know.
Cycle 8, we're in PAX. We go straight from Boston to Thailand. I mean, this next 6 weeks is just Han. Han Tour finals, Sound Blaster finals, Thailand, Cycle 8 finals, live from PAX. There's just so much going on. It's gonna, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty tired and busy.
It's been a busy time, but it's worth it, man.
The 8-man tournament for the 4th spot, the finals, that's coming up too.
Yes.
Do we have any details on that just yet, or?
It'll be all there on Monday.
Okay.
Posted on Hansewer.com.
There you go.
But I will say this. Beef is going to be taking the exclusive coverage of the event. Unfortunately, Breaky CPK, Emperor, and I are going to be in Thailand getting ready for the Garena Star League. But you guys are in for a treat. You got Cycle 8 going on that weekend. Immediately afterwards, going into the 8-team tournament all week. And then right when Beef's done casting, we found out who the 4th team going to Hansewer is. Garena Star League starting up.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys got like 2 weeks of just every single day casting.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
It is.
Reiki, you want to trade? I'll go to Thailand if you want to stick around and cast that.
Yeah, but I already got a plane ticket. If it wasn't for
I'm just
that,
saying,
maybe.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a fun time, man.
I'll take that off your back if you don't want to.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk after. We'll see. We'll see what we can make happen.
All right.
No, but yeah, that's for you guys at home. It's no doubt it's going to be a lot of Han content. So definitely get ready for that grind, as Sam was saying, man. I mean, it's going to be a blast. It really is, between Honcast and of course Complexity Cast and everything. So, yeah, the GSL event again, really 3 weeks away. The official dates for that I think is the 30th and the 31st. Again, as that approaches, there will definitely be more information as far as an exact schedule. Really, also what teams. I mean, again, Sam, I don't know if you know any more information than I do as far as all the teams that we should expect to see there. I mean, I know the regions that we expect, but is there any really further information, or have you heard anything about that?
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting you to ask me that.
No, it's just something I thought off the top of my head. I mean, I'm kind of more just so curious.
All right. So how it's going to break down is we are going to have 32 teams there. There are going to be 16 non-Thailand teams and then 16 Thailand teams. We could expect a Russian team, some Southeast Asian teams, 2 North America and Europe teams, possibly some Singapore teams, Malaysian teams. As of actual teams, we'll find out once we're there.
Okay. So we don't really know just yet.
Yeah, they're running qualifiers. They're doing events. Okay. They're figuring that all out right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get, Orange Esports, Impunity, Neolution, MRR, and I think the 1CIS team, they're battling that out right now, but, Cats is a big name.
Yeah. Okay, so well, it's basically, again, something that as the event gets closer, I'm sure we'll get plenty more information on, from a breakdown of the schedule to all the teams, to the brackets and everything, so looking forward to that, really am, when it comes down to it, so. I know a lot of people are asking in chat. No, unfortunately, there is no cast planned today. Usually, with a Sound Blaster event with a qualifying stage, we would always follow it up with that. But obviously, we're now in the main event portion of that. So, no, it's going to be the podcast today, and then we'll be good. But again, coming back at you tomorrow with Psycho number 7, and it's going to be a blast to finish up the weekend, man. We've got a lot of big matchups here, both between us and, again, Beefcast over there as well. But that's actually a pretty good transition there, because I guess we can now start talking. Well, actually, there was one last question I kind of wanted to bring up to you guys, just kind of on the spot. I know it was interesting, because I know it was brought up to Swinomelons in an interview that he did when Stay Green first qualified for Thailand. Which event or what are you looking more forward to? Basically, are you looking more forward to the Han Tour Grand Finals in Vegas or the GSL Finals in Thailand? He said Thailand 100%. Do you guys kind of feel like you'd be the same? I mean, because of that experience, or would you feel a little bit different? Beef, what about you?
I think you've definitely got to say Thailand has its ups, and that's that you're going to a place that most of us are probably never going to go in our lives. At least for us here in the States, Vegas is definitely not that exotic of a location, so Thailand's definitely got its ups in that way. So I think I would personally have to say Thailand. At the same time, though, Vegas is going to be awesome. There's going to be 4 teams that I've gotten to know very, very well over the past few months, and so going to be excited to meet all those guys at the same time. But I think personally, Thailand would have to be the bigger event.
Yeah. Okay. So Sam, I mean,
you're such a troll.
Well, what?
You are. You're a troll. You're a giant troll.
It's getting bright in here. I can understand. Anyways.
I'm more excited for the Han Tour Finals. I think that, sure, Thailand is an incredible experience, but I mean, this Hontour Finals is what we've been building up for, man. It's the teams
I
we
know.
know. It's the teams we love. It's the rivalries. It's, them on land competing for something that they've been preparing for 6 months. Sure, Thailand, when it comes to location or experience, it might be better for the two teams going to Thailand. They might have a better time.
Yeah.
But for us as fans and as spectators, I think that, the Hontour Grand Finals is going to be the shit.
I have to agree with Sam in that. I think I misunderstood the question. I was more talking about being there in person.
Yeah, well, that's kind of it was very open ended, but that's where I was approaching again, kind of like as I was put to Swin Melons. As you as a person, which event are you looking more forward to? So I definitely, obviously, in the end, I definitely understand where Sam's going as a spectator, and well, with that said too, as a spectator, especially for the North American European region, the times are going to be a lot better. Again, I don't know the exact schedule for the Thailand event, but I do know for a fact that they are 12 hours difference from us here on the East Coast in the United States. So let's just say it might not be the most friendliest of times, at least in certain places. But in the end, it'll still be pretty solid for Europe, I'm sure, and at least part of the States. So
yeah.
Both in the end going to be great events, though. If I had to choose, so I don't want to dodge the question by any means. If I had to choose, I do think Thailand. I would have to say in the end because again of just the experience that you get out of something like that. Like you, Beefy made the great point. Us, especially living in the States. I happen to have already gone to Vegas before a couple times, and maybe for someone that doesn't live in the States, it'd be maybe a different experience. But Thailand definitely is looking forward to that. So, but in the end, again, both are going to be great. So. There's that. Sound Blaster Heroes League. Want to transition into that now. Of course, the Sound Blaster Heroes League kicked off this week, and we had, there's several things to talk about. And actually, let me go ahead and pull up the events tab for that on right here. There we go. Okay, so actually, again, going back to Ghosted Gamers, big shout out to Fantasy especially. He's been doing a lot of effort recently, man.
Yeah.
He put together this, at least from my understanding, I don't know, again, shout out to whoever else helped him on this, but this event coverage page, basically, that you see for the Sound Blaster Heroes League, and it has every piece of information that you need, from the upcoming matches to all the results recently, to Gosu betting, of course, to news articles, to all the roster. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of work, so definitely deserving of the shout-out. But anyways, going out of the brackets right here, you can get an idea of what we've seen. Obviously, hey, there's the Honcast stream. Obviously, we still are waiting on the Complexity versus Team Buy to play that match. That is going to be played, apparently. That got rescheduled.
Yes.
But you can get an idea of where the brackets look right now. Beef, you have any info on that?
Yeah, that'll be played Sunday. And it's going to be at 1 p.m. EST. So...
Okay.
Wait, Sunday?
Yeah.
1 p.m.
But
EST.
what about...
There is something else going on at that time. What is
Does
it?
Complexity not plan on being in the finals?
So, wait.
I don't have any confirmation on that. I was just told by the admins that the team's rescheduled to Sunday at 1 p.m. EST, so I don't have any first-hand confirmation from the teams what that means about Hontour. So that's all I know is that's when the match is scheduled.
Oh, man.
Okay,
right.
well, I'm sure it'll all figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll all work out,
I'm sure it will. Anyways, so other than that, though, we do have these other results, of course, as you can see. And let me zoom in right here to make it a little bit easier to see for you guys. So you got Q Squad now. Q Squad over NXL Focus. I was actually looking forward to that. I know you got a bright and early, Beef, to cast that match.
Yes.
So shout out to you for sure. How did NXLF look? I didn't get the chance to see a lot of it. Did they actually look pretty good, or was it more of a one-sided match, would you say?
The first game, they ran Predator, which was really cool. They actually ran a short lane Predator against Jonas and Fan playing Suicide Keeper, and Predator crushed Keeper of the Forest. Like, absolutely crushed. Pred had like 350 GPM versus like 150 Keeper. And I was like, oh man, this is actually going to be a really good game. Mm-hmm. And then everybody else on the team fed, other than the Predator, and it ended up being pretty stompy. And both games were about half an hour, I do believe. But QSQ they were in control the entire time. NXLF, they definitely looked like they had some skill, but at the same time, they were playing on 300 plus ping the entire time.
Yeah.
I think their entire team averaged out to like 320 or 330 ping. And so they were definitely missing some skill shots and stuff like that. And that's kind of the nature of the international play when you're playing on the US West servers against a European team that's also sitting on 230 ping or whatever. But at the same time, QSQ definitely looked like they were on another level.
I know they did that against Cats Gaming as well. They ran Predator, I think, twice again in that series. One time it happened to work out. So
Yes.
Really a hero that they do favor. Are they from Thailand, by the way? Do we know that? I think they are.
NXL, yeah, they're Thai.
Okay, so they were one of the Thailand teams. I wouldn't be
No.
surprised.
Wait, they're Indonesian.
Are they? Okay. Thought they were okay, yeah, actually that, you know what, that actually makes sense. Okay.
They're Indonesian. Yeah.
Still a possibility that we could see them at GSL. So looking forward to maybe seeing that. But yeah, in the end, again, but definitely a team that I was intrigued by. I'm sure people out there to kind of see, that region. We don't get to see them often. Lion defeated Pencil. Well, they forfeit one over them, actually. Again, that was unfortunate, but it happened. By the way, do we have any updates on that? Do we know if Pencil's is still good? Or?
Yes. I talked to Pablo McDad about 20 minutes before we went live.
Okay.
He told me as of Monday they were disbanding. As of 20 minutes ago, they're no longer disbanding. ZetPro is no longer going to be with the team. But the rest of them have said that they still want to play, and so they will be continuing, but there will be roster changes.
Well, it's good to hear. I mean, good news and bad news.
Yeah, I mean,
ZetPro fans are sad, but
yeah, he's an entertaining player, but in the end, the team's staying around. That is good. I mean, hell, they're what are they overall in the standings? That was actually overall. Pencils is right now they're sitting in that 10th place
13?
spot. I mean,
okay.
According to the standings tab, yeah.
I mean, after some roster changes, that could drop.
True.
Especially considering that in Cycle 7, they got knocked out in the second losers bracket round. That puts them in 12th to
13th or 9th through 12th, yeah.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
If it's Cycle 8 they do well, I think they still have a chance to compete. I mean, like I said, why break up? We are. We're 3 weeks away from one chance. All you have to do is have one on week, and you get a free trip to Vegas to compete, and you're guaranteed to win money. All you have to do is just stay together for 3 weeks.
Seems
and
like
just
it's
put out your best effort for a chance of a lifetime. Like that's what baffles my mind. Like these teams that are forfeiting these tournaments.
Like One Trick Pony, the perfect example.
Guaranteed money. Really? Like you can't just because of some guy, you can't just suck it up and play. I've just never understood that.
Yeah. OTP again, I think is a prime example of that lately. They just completely fell apart, unfortunately, and it's like. What? Really couldn't work that out? I mean, at least just for a little bit longer. Oh, well, I mean, it's their loss in the end. It opens up doors for a new team. I mean, hey, it's their loss in the end, so.
Dendy's Jungle Divos as well. And, I mean, I know the guys with OTP, at least a couple of them are looking for new teams. And so it's like, really, you guys couldn't keep 3 of your players together and just fill in with 2 additional players or something like that. So, yeah, I completely agree with you. It blows my mind, for sure.
Yeah.
But... Plenty of other good teams.
Yeah. Anybody know what he's going to be doing?
Who? ZetPro?
ZetPro?
Oh, I have no clue. Yeah, I haven't followed up on that. I'm sure we'll hear something. I mean, going into Cycle 8, I'm sure he'll maybe show up on a team. We'll see. How that goes. Again, I know he's a fan favorite for a lot of people, so keep an eye for that. Other results, just again going through this. Oh my God! Talk about this result. Orange Esports over Afraid, but holy crap, was that a series? Yeah. Beef, you know that firsthand. You got the privilege of casting this amazing matchup here. I got the privilege of tuning in, man. It was a lot of fun. Like I said on Twitter, we were all huddled around a desk just watching it at the office, especially that Game 3, just going, holy crap, what's going on? I mean, it was a lot of fun, man. But in the end, Orange 2-1. Beef, that matchup, though, what was it like to cast that?
That was crazy, man. The first 2 games, they were good games. They were solid, standard games. But especially that third game, WTF on Dark Lady. I mean, signature hero, extremely well-known, fan favorite player, and just the crazy man-up plays that he was doing was getting my heart racing. He actually almost killed me at one point during the cast. Like I've had this illness and I've been having to use an inhaler to breathe because my lungs aren't working properly and all this stuff.
Not good for a shoutcaster.
It's not great, but you muscle through it. And he actually almost killed me at one point when he charged back into the Willowmaker. I'm sure you guys might remember that, and just thinks that he's going to kill this Deadwood and goes back in, and it was an insane series. It was an insanely fun series. had Emperor there casting with me, and it was a great way to actually start off the SPHL, because we did have our problems on Monday. And actually didn't have those matches. So that ended up being the first match that we got to broadcast, and, we couldn't have asked for a better way to kick it off with our first match.
Yeah, that's great. And where can people find your VODs, by the way? Because I know a lot of people, if they missed that, they need to watch that.
They're on Twitch, twitch.tv/ComplexityHon. They're going to be going up onto YouTube today as well.
Cool.
So.
Cool. There you go. So definitely, you need to watch that series, the whole series, guys. It was an awesome series. So definitely look for those VODs. As he said, on the Complexity Han Twitch or eventually YouTube, and watch them if you missed it. Sam, did you have any take on that before we moved on here?
On the series or on
that matchup? Yeah, because I'm still going over results. But
that matchup was so good that I was bummed out. So I've been taking, here we go again. I've been really getting involved with yoga, hot yoga in particular. One, it's great for your body. I'm trying to get more fit so I can have a killer body. 2, tons of hot chicks in yoga pants, in little short shorts. It's great. Anyways, I had a class, 7 o'clock, and this game was going on. It was entering game 3. I was just so excited. I excused myself from yoga. I left, right? I was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I didn't go to the bathroom. I snuck into the locker room, pulled out my phone, pulled up my Twitch TV app, and I watched the game. I had to know, man. That was such a good matchup. I love WTF. I love Panny. I love both those teams. And it was just so exciting that I had to sneak away just to watch it. And it was so worth it. I even went back later that night, and just everybody at work was talking about it because the regional guys all love Orange Esports. They want Orange Esports to win. The guys here, HJR is really good friends with Panny, so we wanted Panny to do great. And it's just like everybody was so in on it. It just made it so much more exciting. Great series, well played from both teams. Can't wait to see more in the future.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun seeing Orange, too. Again, Orange is always a fan-favorite team from the international scene. They've been around forever. Their roster has changed a little bit over time, sure, but it's still, definitely a good core, and we recognize their players, and clearly a great team. I mean, Afraid, no doubt, is a solid team, especially as of late, and that is an impressive victory, especially for online play. I mean, the unfortunate thing for them is that they do got the very tough matchup here in the next round. They are going to be going up against Stay Green. But talk about a good matchup to watch with that said. So that's going to be a lot of fun to cover, I'm sure, too. Stay Green defeated VTD. That's the Vietnamese Dream, I think. That's what it stands for.
Yeah.
Those guys were late. Were they a team that joined late, or did they actually qualify?
Yes, they were a last-minute replacement for One Trick Pony.
OTP after they disbanded. Yeah. So it's like, hey, you got to join this tournament. You got to face Stay Green. Oh well, they tried.
Yeah.
No, but definitely props for them for stepping up at least. So obviously it wasn't a forfeit, so that was good. Complexity versus Bob, we talked about that once. It's going to be rescheduled. TT Esports did take out 007 2 games to nothing there. Pikachu over Cats 2 games to 1. That was another exciting series. Got to see some Cats play from CIS. A Pyromancer player from them.
Yes.
That was actually pretty cool.
That was awesome.
That was awesome, yeah.
And then in the end, Trademark defeating Team Excellent 2 games to 1. Yesterday was a hell of a day. We got to cover both of those series here on Honcast, and 6 matches in total, 6 games in total. Talk about a really fun, action-packed day, but that TDM series especially, you talked about it a little bit already with there was that one point in game number 1 where Team Excellent, they were getting pushed down by a 600-plus goal per minute Moon Queen with a token. No, he didn't have the token at the time, but he had double damage rune. That's what it was. And we're like, holy crap, this is going to be the win for TDM right here unless some crazy play. Excellent's like, we're going to make that crazy play. They jump in completely unexpected with Behemoth and the follow-up. And it was also a clutch play. I believe it was Bubbles in the background. He silenced and took care of Rally, it was, with crowd control so that they could kill Moon Queen. And then go on from there. So they won that game. TDM did come back, though, and win the next 2 games. But, again, you have to watch the series. It is on your YouTube and everything if you missed it. But another intense series there in that one. Definitely second best, I think it's safe to say. After the Orange Afraid, so
it was really fun. Watching that match is really, really cool. And I mean, I am so excited going into the round of 8 this Monday and Tuesday. QSQ versus Lions. That's going to be an incredible match. A little bit of a grudge match, you could say. QSQ just got knocked into gold by Lions.
Yeah.
You've got Orange versus SG. Last time they met up was at DreamHack, where Orange was actually the reason that SG didn't make it into the playoffs. I mean, 2 grudge matches to start off the days,
right,
and then most likely I think it's safe to assume Cole versus TTEs and then Pika versus TDM. I mean, talk about a hell of a round of 8. It's going to be an incredible week.
It is shaping up very, very well, of course. That's interesting. Yeah, Orange did get a play against Stay Green, didn't they, at DreamHack? And you're right. That was also the whole where Orange also defeated. I think it was Complexity, right? They defeated Complexity. They took a game off of them at least.
Yeah, 1-1.
Helped them.
I mean, you can't even consider Stay Green the same team.
Well,
I mean,
it's completely different. It is. It's no
yeah.
Slicks, no Chessie. Yeah, it is completely different now for sure. But still, the names match up.
So I just wanna brag for a little bit. What fun thing I do here around the office is, as you guys know, we have a currency in the office called gold coins.
Yeah.
We have vending machines, and every once in a while Merrick comes around, gives us these gold coins, and we could use them to get drinks, snacks, whatever we want. There's a bunch of them. Anyway, so I created like a fantasy league to really promote people starting to watch Honcast and to get involved in the esports scene. So we all created brackets for the Sound Blasters Hero League. And mine is perfect. Big surprise.
It's perfect?
Not even close to perfect.
I'm a risk taker, that's why.
See it. Yeah. Anyways, mine's perfect. I'm really excited. Breaky sucks.
Yours perfect? There's no way.
Of course mine's perfect. You had Pikachu beating Cats, which was a rookie move, and you had NXL beating Q Squad.
Wait, Pikachu beat Cats, though.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
What? Yes, they did.
Oh, wait.
Your bracket is wrong!
Did I watch it? Really?
You cheater! No, I was going to say, there's no way you're perfect. Look at you.
You know what?
You chose Cats, didn't you?
Of course I chose Cats.
And
What?
they lost.
I thought they won.
Oh, well, that just changed quickly.
Damn it.
That backfired. Well, that was fun.
Man.
That is a lot of fun, though. That's a good initiative there. But you're not as perfect as you thought, MilkFat. It's okay, though. Still good in my mind.
I even watched the games. How did I?
It's completely. Well, in your mind, you wanted it to be perfect, so you just told yourself.
I even watched the series. I watched it.
Yeah.
I don't even. Who knows?
As a cat walks on the screen.
Sorry, she was.
I'll be sorry. But I could care less.
I'm disappointed.
Yeah. All right. Well, but yeah, no, it's definitely fun doing those. So yeah, the Sound Blaster Heroes League now coverage for that continues. I think we have Monday off, but Tuesday. We were actually just talking about this though. Tuesday, it originally was going to be Honcast, but there's actually a good chance it might end up being Complexity Cast. So UB will probably end up casting on Tuesday. Again, but there will be coverage no matter what. So that's what matters in the end. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday. Thursday's the finals.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you're right. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Thursday being the grand finals for the event. And is the grand finals best of 3, or do we know that?
Currently it's best of 3. We're actually planning on changing it to a best of 5 though. So we're trying to. We're gonna see. We'll see.
Okay. We'll see if that works out in the end. I mean, especially for an event like this. I mean, there's a lot of money on the line. Obviously, $30,000 prize pool, man. $12,000 alone going to the first place team, especially for an online event. I mean, online or offline though, that's a huge prize pool. And again, obviously, Sound Blaster, love those guys for doing what they're doing with the Hon scene, because it's giving us the opportunity to both get a lot more content, a lot more coverage, and keeping this helping to keep the scene active.
Yeah,
which is always a good thing.
And giving away lots of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I've been giving away. Yeah. You've been helping me give away headsets and sound cards, and I've even got a DJ Rhapsody avatar that I think I'm going to give away today during the podcast. So
there you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Did you want to give that away? I mean, do you want to maybe do that later?
I'll probably just put it on Twitter a little bit later.
Right on.
So at the end of the podcast, probably.
Cool. Okay. Well, moving on here. I mean, honestly, there isn't a whole lot too much else to discuss. Really, a big part of this was to be about recapping the tournaments. Again, there's been plenty of competition going on lately, so we've definitely done a good chunk of that. The next thing that I did kind of want to bring up though was we're gonna Honcast especially. We're gonna do our part to make sure to try to get you more information, more so because I'm personally very intrigued. So I'm sure a lot of you out there as well. What's going on with the international scene as a whole? I mean, because again, there's definitely events that are there. It's just they're not maybe broadcasted or they're not really publicized outside of the region, unfortunately, at this time. But definitely expect it to start changing as time goes on, because we need to start celebrating Han as a global brand in the end. Heroes of Newerth, it is all over the place. So why not celebrate it as a global game that it definitely is. So. With that said, there's actually a news article post on the Honcast site as a result of this, and let me pull it up actually real quickly right here. Not prepared. I apologize. Where was it? Under news, probably. That would make sense. Here we go. It's called the G1 Winter Pro Division. Let me make it full screen. This is actually from the CIS region here, and this started on March 4th, and it's basically everyday coverage, it looks like, all the way till March 11th. It's happening fast here, but ultimately there's a $6,100 prize pool on the line here for this event. This is, again, the CIS region. Good, definitely a good chunk of money on the line. There's coverage for it on the Russian stream over there on twitch.tv. There's a link on this article to it, so you can check it out there. Again, I have no clue what the announcer is saying, obviously, but he says it in a very passionate and an awesome way, so it's definitely a lot of fun to watch, at least in my mind, and it is cool to see some different regions play and their play styles, what heroes they're picking and how they're playing compared to what we're used to seeing here on Honcast. So definitely tune into that if you get the chance and get more of an idea of what's going on over there, but also just information that there is other events out there outside of the North American European region, so that's one of them. I mean, do you guys have you got the chance to watch any from this event, or Sam or Beef?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Sam, you have?
I've watched a little bit. The G1,
Nice.
it's on every day. They've been streaming. I'll tune in and I'll watch. I have it muted while I'm at work, but I'll usually leave it on the other monitor just so I can get a feel about what's going on, what teams we're going to be seeing at in Thailand possibly, DreamHacks, etc. Cats Gaming, even especially, I watched them actually play in the G1 and then watching them play against Pikachu, even though apparently they lost. I think you guys are lying still. I'm a huge fan of the FF guy, the --FF --. He's I talked to him for a bit. He's a really cool guy. He's really talented actually, and I'm really excited to watch him more. I think it's cool that they're doing that and they're streaming. They're consistently getting 1,000 viewers, which I think before 2 weeks ago, I don't think any Russian stream has ever gotten any. And so it's really nice to see them streaming, putting it out there, and giving everybody in the world, an opportunity to watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. So I want to watch some Russians. I'm going to have to watch that. I'm going to have to get that link later. Or just check it out on Honcast.com, right? You said it was over there?
Yeah, it's on the Honcast.com website. There's an article. Oh,
I'm going
man.
to have to watch some Russians.
Called the Karina G1. So,
Breaky, I got a quick question for you.
What's up?
Why did you decide to cough into a stuffed animal instead of using maybe your shirt or your sleeve? But instead, you picked up the
Emperor's
stuffed
my buddy
animal
over here.
and coughed into it.
We're buddies. We're buddies. I don't know why.
Okay.
It's just the nearest thing. And
Sounds like a really bad idea.
Beautiful shirt. I didn't want to ruin it. Okay, so yeah, that you go to the article. What is it? It's the Garena G1 Winter Pro Division against an article on Honcast.com. You can find it. You can find the link there. Actually, here, let me just pull it up real quickly. What is it? Garena RU. Garena RU. Twitch.tv/Garena RU is the stream name actually. So you can also check out VODs there, I'm sure, and everything else. So that's that event. Then of course there's plenty of other regions. Another one that was standing out. There's Thailand is definitely I think it's actually our biggest player base over there right now is in Thailand, of course, where we're going to be going for the GSL, and they have production value pretty crazy, actually. They got their own event going over there. I'm not exactly sure on the name, actually, but it's an event over there in Thailand that, what I've been able to tell, every day even, at least to an extent, they have the teams in studio with them, and I even got to see Team MRR the other day as far as them playing against another team from Thailand, and again, they were in the studio and everything with the green screen set up. It was actually pretty cool. So trying to get more information on that when we do. I'll definitely pass it along, obviously, but just an update of that. Their YouTube, I'm actually trying to remember their YouTube. What was it? It wasn't Garena Thailand, was it? Maybe it was. Garena Thailand Han. Let's try that. No, that wasn't it. Garena Thailand. Actually, it is it. Yes, the Garena Thailand channel. That's what it was. So yeah. Anyways, if you go to the Garena Thailand YouTube channel, you can actually check it out and see some VODs from there to see what I'm talking about and kind of see some Thailand teams. And again, we're going to be seeing 16 Thailand teams at that GSL event. So definitely get some scouting going on as far as what we're going to be seeing. Going to be a lot of fun. So. Yeah, other than that, though, really not too much else to add as far as the international scene is for right now. But like I said, definitely expect to start getting a lot more information on that because we're going to do our best. So, well, I mean, the last thing I kind of wanted to just bring up here, just kind of a side thing, not really results focused or by any means or anything like that, but it's actually an interesting thing that one of our community members put together. I'm actually blanking on his name now, so I apologize.
Oh, no.
Oh, damn it. Yeah, I really should find it. But anyways, I have it up on my screen. It's actually it's an Excel document that he put together basically of at least cycle 5, cycle 6, and it looks like he's actually working on cycle 7 here. Of hero stats basically. Of all hero stats from the Diamond Division focus of whether or not they were locked, they were banned, they were picked, and you ultimately kind of get an idea of how certain heroes were played throughout the Diamond Division. Obviously, if you look at it at first glance, it's just a lot of numbers. But when you really look into it, I mean, you get a pretty good idea of where certain heroes stand amongst others. I mean, you got the win percentages, obviously, and how many matches they were ultimately played in. And so I thought it was kind of interesting to look at this and, see a couple things that maybe stood out when it came down to it. So, I don't know.
A fun stat?
What's up?
Tempest overall has like a 40% win rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty
Silhouettes is actually
Down
really
there.
low. I think it's in the 20s.
Yeah. Silhouette's really low. Tempest is really low.
Yeah, Silhouette's 20, 26. Yeah.
Where's Wild Soul? Wild Soul 50%, 5 and 5. So, wow, Wild Soul 50%. Anyways, I think that this might have gone a lot better if I actually gave you guys the link. So let me actually go ahead and do that real quickly. I'll just give it on my screen, whatever. I'll go ahead and put this in chat. So there you go. You can actually, I just linked it in the twitch.tv chat, so you guys can actually look at it yourself as well. And again, it's just kind of some fun stats to look at, really, when it comes to the hero selection and whatnot. But so yeah, I guess just have fun with that. I mean, this was going to be more of also, especially having somebody like Emperor on to maybe help break it down a little bit, but unfortunately, we got this guy instead, right here.
He's cuter.
True, very true.
Yeah. Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
Before we move on, there's actually something I would like to do.
Okay.
I just want to give a quick shout out to. Hey guys, trying to work here. You guys should try it instead of talking all day.
Oh, snap.
Alright, so I'd like to give a quick shout out to Do You Even Lift Bro, who is in the grand finals of gold and has secured their spot in Diamond Cycle number 8. Justice League, The Fire Rises, and Have It. All 4 of these teams have won gold, gotten top 4, and so they'll be moving into Diamond. So congratulations to them. We never really talked about it. Just gotta give a quick shout out.
Okay. So the Fire Rises, you did say? Okay, so they're one of
Couple
those
of
teams,
upsets. Obviously, a lot of people expected Clan Milk to win gold.
Obviously.
Unfortunately, they got knocked out pretty early. Team SDS is another pretty big team. They got knocked out. Call It Karma still kind of slumping.
Mm-hmm.
They got knocked out pretty early as well. And that's about it.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
Call It
quick
Karma
update
again,
on
yeah.
gold.
Yeah, definitely. We don't get the chance to talk about that a whole lot, but for sure, definitely good to see those teams advancing on there. So, well, yeah, I mean, there really wasn't too much else to talk about, honestly. So, I guess we could just really start wrapping up. But but about an hour here, we got into the show. Definitely got plenty of information out there. So, unless there's anything else that you guys, either you, Beef or Sam, you really wanted to bring up here before moving on when it comes down to it, but. Other than, of course, this weekend, we got Han Tour Cycle number 7. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun, and expect something tomorrow, as far as a surprise here on Honcast. I'll say that much. Was supposed to happen today again, but didn't. So tomorrow though, tomorrow it'll happen. So Sam or Beef, nothing coming to mind.
We covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we talked about that stuff.
I know we didn't do the Honcast top 10 this week.
Yeah. Sorry. It was unfortunate. It was definitely a busy week, and we'll definitely get around to doing that next week for the Honcast Top 10 Community Ranking. So it might make more sense to, anyways, to let the Sound Blaster event even finish, and then kind of get results from that, and then do the top 10. So
yeah, it's gonna be a lot of blast.
Gonna be a lot of blast. Did I just say that?
Gonna be a lot of blast.
Gonna be a lot of blast, guys. Gonna be a lot of blast. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll start it off. Shout out to everybody here that's been working tirelessly to make Hontour great. Shout out to the gold teams moving up.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, always a shout out to the Hontour riders, Blaze, Fantasy, Crowslaw, Becky. You guys are doing a great job. Thanks, especially Fantasy, Gosu Gamers, and Hontour and Honcast. You work hard, man. You deserve all the shout outs you can get. I started using Twitter about 2 weeks ago. Got a big 25 tweets and 13,000 followers. So if you guys want to follow me, I don't really use it because it's really confusing, and I really don't understand why. But apparently I should use it because it's very useful. I just need to figure out how and why, and you guys will see a lot more of that from me. So if you guys want to follow me, visit S2 MilkFat on Twitter. For just you guys are gonna get such clutch updates on there, like stuff you guys didn't even know
Inside
existed.
information.
Yeah, like way inside
Totally.
stuff that you'll never hear from anybody else. You know what? Let's every single person that follows me right now, I will give you 5 gold coins. Just tweet at me your in-game name, and I will send you 5 gold coins.
You're gonna be at the office
S2
for a
milk
very,
just send it to
very
me.
long night.
You guys have
You
an
realize
hour.
that, right?
5 gold coins. I mean, that's a lot too. So throw it down, guys.
You're gonna be there for an hour, just giving 5 gold coins, the most insignificant amount to just a lot of people. Oh
Hey.
boy,
That's a lot, man. 5 gold coins is like a deal breaker. That could be like, oh shoot,
That could
I'm
be the
5
difference.
coins short. I can't get this super secret
That's
thing.
true. I've been there before.
Yeah, I have.
I've been there before.
Beef. What about you?
All right, guys. As I mentioned earlier today, going to do a giveaway of DJ Rhapsody. That's going to go over on twitter.com/complexitylive. I'm going to put that up as soon as we're done here with the podcast. I'll put the link in chat as well. It's just going to be another one of those things. I'm going to ask a question and randomly select a person, so make sure to check that out if you do want to get DJ Rhapsody, the avatar, and of course my shout-outs to Complexity Gaming for all their support and all the awesome people over there, and our sponsors, Sound Blaster Origin, Creative, QPad, PNY, Twitch, and G8 Brand. Those guys are awesome, so make sure to support them whenever possible. You can check me out on What?
Sorry. I didn't think this many people would actually do it.
Yeah,
What, you're an idiot.
crazy.
What do you think?
I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Again, you don't know how Twitter works. You shouldn't do stuff like that.
I don't
Not a
know.
good idea. It's not a good idea.
Hold him to it. Hold him to it, guys. He promised. You better hold him to it out there. Anyways, keep
if
going.
you want to follow me on Twitter and on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and anything else, you can do that at BeefPotPie1. And then, of course, huge shout-outs to you guys for being here and allowing me to be here on the podcast, and to Soren Fantasy. He's done an awesome job at helping to promote the Sound Blaster Heroes League, working really, really closely with him, and everybody else that is really making the Sound Blasters Hero League a possibility. All the teams that are participating and showing up on time. You guys make my life easy and nice. And then, of course, to my family and fans, you guys are awesome. And to Miss Alasa, that's it. I'm out of here.
There
I'm not
you go.
actually leaving yet.
Oh, that would be rude. But
Yeah. Well, maybe I will leave then.
to finish things up here overall on the podcast, as far as my shoutouts go, if you want to actually follow a Twitter that actually use it, you can definitely go to @BreakyCPK, and you can go ahead and follow that. No, but on top of that, you definitely want to reiterate what Sam was saying. Big shout out to the riders, especially. You got Anna and Jeremy for one from the S2 side, but then you got the those out there putting their time and effort in Blaze and Richard and Fantasy, and there's definitely more that I'm missing, but you know who you are. So big shout out to you guys, putting a lot of effort, and keep it coming, because definitely things are coming together very nicely. And you at home, you guys tuning in, you should definitely be checking out Honcast.com and Hontour.com every single day, because there is pretty much daily content at this point for both of those websites even. So definitely check that out. Other than that, I want to give a shout out to the alter form of Emperor over here. Hopefully the real one joining us here in the near future. But for today, we got stuck with this guy, and well, It's actually worked out pretty well, and I just killed him. Okay. Anyways, thank you for tuning in, and that's going to do it for the Honcast Podcast. Tomorrow, we got Hon Tour, baby. Cycle number 7 coming at you. 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. No, I'm wrong. 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. 1800 Central European time. We got our first match kicking off. It'll be a losers bracket matchup from Hon Tour Cycle 7 here on Honcast, followed by the winners bracket finals. Tune in then. Don't miss it. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.